ever sit down to focus, only to find yourself on your phone 5 minutes later scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, and stressing about 10 other things? In a world of noise, focus feels like a superpower. Like this one here. Well, you came just in time, didn't you? We were just talking about noise and distractions. She's so cute. It's funny you join at a time when we're talking about trying to focus. Today's video, I'm going to share with you 4 tips and tools that helped me stay grounded even when the stress is high. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that I live a very busy life. I work a full-time job and many side hustles and trying to build skills for my passion of music production and DJing. So I understand how hard it is to focus on one thing when you have a million things on your plate. So without further ado, let's dive into these tips and tools. So the first tip I want to talk about is Steve Jobs' signal versus noise principle. He has this 80-20 split of his day. He would dedicate 80% of his energy on the most important work of the day, and that's considered signal. And the rest of the 20% is anything else, and that's considered the noise. So let's say you start your day with 100% of your time and energy. How you divide that is very crucial. Before you start your day, you would part out things that you want to focus on for your signal. Those are the most important stuff that you have to get done throughout the day. Everything else is noise. So you want to deprioritize those for later. And I think this principle is very helpful because you can use it anywhere. This principle kept me from burning out from low impact stuff. How this principle helped me during my day job is after I start at 9 a.m., I would look at everything that's on my plate, everything that I have to get through. I would pick out 3 to 4 things that I need to get done immediately first thing in the morning. Those are typically the most burning stuff. So when you're trying to split your day into the 80-20 principle, always ask yourself, is this thing considered signal or noise before giving it time? And the second idea I want to get across here is Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. If you know her, I love her. If you haven't listened to her podcast, I highly recommend her. She's on YouTube. So her 5-second rule essentially means if you have something that you wanted to do, don't let your mind get you. Overthinking is the biggest enemy of focus. Whenever you have something in your mind, let's say you were woken up by your alarm and you're supposed to wake up and do your workout. Count in your mind from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And after you get to 1, don't think of anything else. Don't listen to your mind at all. Just get out of your bed and start doing that workout. Do it before your brain talks you out of it. For example, I know I should be practicing making music in Ableton, but I find myself doom scrolling on my phone. I notice that, and I do an internal countdown in my head, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and immediately I put my phone down and get into business. I use this tool all the time for my creative sessions, for workouts, especially when I feel resistant. So the big takeaway here is you always want to act first and motivation comes later. My third tip and tool I wanted to share with you is the importance of meditation and having a morning routine. The way you start your day is the way you carry your day. Before I work, I always like to wake up 1 to 2 hours early to really practice on my morning routine. And my morning routine consists of me meditating, working out, sometimes journaling, and of course reading. You can chill down there now. Thanks for joining the podcast or video. I started meditation about 2-3 years ago. It had a profound impact on my life. I highly recommend Headspace if you're unfamiliar. By doing meditation, it clears your mental clutter before distractions pile in. Having a set morning routine really anchors you and really sets you up for a successful day. So whether you want to have some quiet moments in the morning, if you want to do some meditation, if you want to do some journaling, self-affirmation, self-check, workout, read, or even drawing, have some creative session, having a morning routine is very important. It boosts your confidence a lot, and I just feel like I get this internal feeling of me being able to conquer my day, whatever is ahead of me. Instead of rushing to my work and not having a time to really think what I wanted to do, I really give myself a moment in the morning before my job for me to sit with myself and really lock in on my intention of the day. If you think you don't have enough time in the morning, 15 minutes is sometimes all you need. Do some journaling and do some stretches. That's gonna make a very big difference. Try it out and let me know what you think. And by talking about meditation leads to my next idea, self-reflection versus short-term pleasure. Short-term pleasure, hands down, is the #1 killer of clarity. Netflix binges, endless scrolling, these activities gives us immediate pleasure, dopamine of course, but it drains clarity. It distracts us from what we truly want to focus on. So let's practice some self-awareness. By practicing meditation, at the same time, you practice self-awareness to be aware of your own actions and what you're thinking in your mind. Try to catch yourself when you are distracted. When you can't stop scrolling on social media, try to catch that moment and do some self-reflection immediately by asking, what am I trying to avoid right now? I constantly find myself scrolling on social media trying to get that short-term pleasure by avoiding hard tasks like making music on Ableton, practice my vocals, waking up and do my workout, things like that. And I try to minimize that. And let's be real, we're all humans. We get distracted and it's okay. The most important thing here is to catch yourself when you're distracted and don't waste too much time in the short-term pleasure activity that you're doing. Always check with yourself. Are you choosing pleasure over purpose? And by really practicing that and building that self-awareness, you'll find yourself less distracted and spending less time on stuff that makes you feel short-term pleasure, but then in the long run makes you feel like shit. So in order to stay focused and be locked in on your purpose, it is really important to practice the Steve Jobs 80-20 principle to stay focused on the signal, not the noise. And to practice Mel Robbins' 5-second rule to beat overthinking. Do the countdown and start acting. Have a morning routine with meditation, workout, or journaling. And don't let short-term pleasure steal long-term clarity. And all in all is to say that these tools don't make stress go away, but they can help you by keeping you grounded while you chase stability and your dreams. In the comment section down below, let me know one distraction that you're trying to cut out this week. Let's do it together. And if you want more real talk about work, life, passion, subscribe and follow along. Let's grow together. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to learn about how to crush your interviews, I have a video that talks specifically about tips on crushing your next interview. Check it out here. My name is Michelle. Until next time, I'll see you there.